Ann Weiser Cornell, and it's such a pleasure to have a chance to talk to you about what I'm doing in the mornings at the Focusing Institute Summer School. I'll be teaching a class on focusing, so it's a great place to start if you're new to focusing and you really want to learn it from the very beginning, from the foundation. Although I have to tell you that some people take my course again and again because we have such a good time. You know, it's been a passion for me ever since I first tried to learn focusing, to make focusing as easy as possible for anyone to learn, because I had a hard time myself. It was hard for me to learn focusing. I did it 43 years ago, so I've been a focuser for 43 years. And the ways it was being taught back then, maybe the language wasn't as facilitative as it could have been, because we've learned a lot since then. And so I've really made it my lifelong mission to make learning focusing as easy as possible for as many people as possible. So we have a good time. I love doing what we do in the mornings. I think one thing that I want to say a little about here is about what focusing is. That focusing is something that was discovered, not invented. It was discovered by watching what people did when they were successfully changing in psychotherapy, watching those moments that are like really breakthrough moments that happen even in a little pause that people make. And so when Eugene Gendlin was able to look at what people were actually doing when they were changing successfully, he discovered people were pausing and sensing something that they could feel at that moment, the immediate, fresh, bodily experience of something that was hard to put into words. And that became focusing. That became something that we could teach to the people who weren't successfully changing in psychotherapy. And it turns out that focusing is this little moment, really, that is a transformational moment, a breakthrough moment. And when we can learn to do it for ourselves, when we can, as healing professionals, learn to bring it to our clients, even when we can learn to bring it to our family members and our friends, this breakthrough moment allows transformation of the very places where we felt stuck, where we felt life wasn't opening, wasn't changing. I want to talk a little more about why you would even want to learn focusing, because that's really the most important question as you're deciding to come to Focusing Institute Summer School and to take one of our exciting courses, is why focusing? What's so powerful about focusing? What's so special about focusing? Well, focusing is based on that discovery, as I was just telling you, that there are moments when our usual kind of frozen routine, being in a rut, when at those moments, everything opens up and there's the potential for real change. Eugene Gendlin discovered this both by looking at successful psychotherapy and because he was in a unique position as a psychotherapist and a philosopher. Coming from a tradition of existential phenomenology, he was in a unique position to recognize those moments, because what's odd about those moments, and we also call those moments the felt sense. Well, what's odd about those moments is that they kind of look like nothing. If you're not really noticing, if you're not ready to pay attention, what it looks like on a tape is that somebody slowed down. They started talking more slowly. They started gesturing toward their body, and they started using maybe fresh metaphors. So an example of that might be somebody saying, I don't know, it's hard to put into words. It's something like a little kid saying no inside of me. So this fresh metaphor, slow down talking, groping for words, gesturing toward the body, that turned out to be what predicted positive change in psychotherapy. That research was done over 50 years ago. The first round of that research, it's been reproduced many times since then. Since those days, we've seen that focusing helps not only in psychotherapy, but in all kinds of other life areas, including health and healing, spirituality, career change, any kind of making decisions. My favorite is releasing blocks to being your full expressive self. I believe that each person came into this world with a sense of some kind of mission or the potential to really make a difference because of who you are. And yet so often people feel blocks to being who they fully are. And one of my favorite things is to help people release those blocks. Another thing focusing helps with is that tragic sense that there's some kind of saboteur or mean, angry person inside of you that's telling you you're worthless, you're no good, who are you to try doing something like that? I call it tragic because in every case that I've helped people with, including my own, that mean, angry voice turns out to be something that's trying to help you. And we can turn that around, we can change it. And all the things that have been holding you back, helping you feel stuck, in the way of really moving forward with your life. Focusing is an amazing way to release all that. Focusing is self-help. You learn it for yourself. You can have it with you all the time. Healing professionals can learn it to bring it into your psychotherapy. I was just talking to a psychotherapist yesterday. He said that from taking one course in focusing, in fact, taking the first class of the first course in focusing, he took the skills into his client sessions and immediately saw a difference. And he works with people who experience a lot of anxiety. That's another thing focusing can help with. And troubling emotions, emotions that are stressful, emotions that get in the way, like anxiety, like anger and rage, like sadness, grief that feel out of control. And also things, current life conditions that are related to trauma in the past. Focusing is a very powerful, very solid method for use with trauma. And maybe most of all, we want to emphasize that focusing feels good. It's a positive psychology method. It helps you access those qualities of strength, resilience, joy, and just enjoyable feelings at the bodily level. So it's very grounded and very supported. So I have a lot of fun teaching focusing because I get to see people's lives change, and I get to see people tell me right away, wow, this stuff is amazing. So on 5 mornings at the Focusing Institute Summer School, I'll be teaching focusing using a method that I've been working with over 20 years now, refining it each time, but I'm very experienced in teaching focusing. I have exercises, I have a step-by-step progression of what you learn and how each day builds on the day before. You'll be working in partnership, which means that you learn how to support the focusing of another person, and you learn how to let another person support your focusing. This makes focusing portable. It makes it much more likely that when you leave, you'll have a focusing partner, or you'll know how to go home and teach your best friend how to do this with you, and you're more likely to do it and really make it part of your life. So most of all, the people in my classes have a good time. We really feel like we're a connected group. We get to know each other. We enjoy the people who are there. It's a place where you can feel safe, and you can feel that how you are is really valued and appreciated, and a place where you can enjoy these wonderful moments of breakthrough and revelation. And you've really gained very solid skills every single day. So I'm so looking forward to seeing you there. And I am Ann Weiser Cornell.